Welcome back to Senders Only Podcast. This is episode 3, joined by Joey Robinson, professional stunt rider and absolute savage on a bike. And of course, Foley, who's now not just crashing stunt lots, but racing Harley Davidsons for Suburban HD. We're talking racing, crashing, what's coming up in May, and a brand new segment. So let's get into it. Oh, sick. We're live. Welcome back. He's comfy or what?
I'm never coming back.
So, Senders Only, episode 3. Let's start. Weekend recap. Let's start with that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good weekend.
Great weekend.
What happened?
Oh, man. Where do we start? When did we leave? Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday. Oh, yeah.
We were slammed at the shop.
Your race suit.
So much going on. Oh, dude. How about that? Yeah, we were super busy at the shop. We ordered a suit the week before. I go to Cycle Gear, try one on, forget what size it is. Jake goes by there for me on the way back to the shop, tells me the size of the suit. We're so dumb, we don't even realize it's an European size. Order it, and they're a complete wrong size. Shows up the day before the race, and it's the wrong suit. The suit is supposed to fit Joey.
Dude, you really should have kept it for Joey.
No, he needs to cut. Dude, he would need a custom one. He's so tall.
Do you reckon they even make one your size, Joey?
No.
No, that's a lot of kangaroos.
Yeah. That's like 10.
I'm pretty sure they go like as you get taller, the weight and all that stuff, you know. So
it goes as wide as
so
tall.
you have to get a custom suit, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we
Can you turn me down? You guys are way too loud.
You want to be
I
down
think
a little bit?
he's grumpy.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking loud as shit in my headphones.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, that's way better.
Is it? I can't. Hold on.
Oh, anyway. Does that sound better?
Yeah, it was just gnarly. It was hurting
This
my
is a
ears.
bit loud, yeah.
Yeah, so we had to go try on suits on Thursday, right? Right before we left. Got a suit. Hit
Yeah.
the road. Never wore, dude, brand new suit, brand new boots, brand new helmet, brand new gloves. That was terrible.
You looked factory.
Looked fast. At least I had that going for me.
Joey went and then rented a trailer off his buddy, this sick old trailer. How about that thing?
Yeah, 1986. You did me well.
Yeah, that looks sick.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yep. But yeah, no, so successful weekend. You went out, went 1-1. Tell me, Friday, scary. You were nervous, bro. I've not seen you nervous like that before because I've never seen you have to race. You only
I'm
put on
nervous
stunt
every
shit.
time we go to, like, dude, flat track. Joey's seen it from flat track since we first started hanging out and all that shit. Every time I go to race, like, I don't talk. I'm super weird. I'm sick to my stomach. I can't eat, you know? So I've just been like that my entire life.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah.
Take it seriously. Are you the opposite, Joey?
I wouldn't say like the opposite, but I like. Yeah, actually, yeah, I would say the.
You're the
opposite.
chill one. And
He
then
holds
he's
his composure pretty good before racing.
Yeah, yeah.
I do need some reassurance though. Like you'll catch me like before a race, like, hey, am I doing all right? You know, like,
Do I suck?
is everything okay here? You know, whereas Foley's just, you know,
Dead
he's
silent.
I'm a
dude.
silent dude. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk for a bit. I'm like, if I can talk, it's only to my 1 or 2 mates, and that's it.
100%.
Mhm.
I won't
Yep.
talk to anyone else.
Yep. Or just stay occupied doing something else. So I'm not thinking about it. But no, it was fun. Friday was fun. I went out there and I was just like, what the is this shit?
Yeah.
When I got on the bike, it was super weird.
It's
But
not a dirt bike. You don't put your leg out to turn. Like, even when you're flat tracking, you put your leg out, slide your feet on the ground, I guess.
yeah, it was completely different.
when
Trusting
I
the
sat on
tires.
that bike, it didn't feel anything like what I thought.
The blue one?
Yeah, like just looking at it, you're like, man, that thing probably feels so fast. And then you sit on it and you're like, how are they going fast on this? Like,
Yeah.
it's not what you
You
think.
start at the fairings, like, shaking real gnarly.
And dude, the bike I'm riding still has I think the foot pegs are still like
Mid-mount.
Yeah, they're mid mounts. The bike's still, was it 4 over? You can only go 4 over. You still run stock swing arm.
Yep.
It has some adjustable cartridges in the front. The rear shocks are they're
Legends.
legends. You know, they have some revalving and stuff done to them. But dude, it didn't even cross my mind because we run legends on our stunt bikes and we sell them every day to the public. And yeah, these have a few things done to them, but those rear shocks were sick. I didn't question them once when I was on the track.
Yeah. I loved them, man. Then you can't buy them as good as Legends is. Whatever they do to make them hold up on them race bikes and be able to do however much speed and come in and not slide out stuff's crazy.
Right. I'm not sure if it's like a hidden thing. We can cut it out if we need to. But AFCO, I think it's AFCO.
AFCO Racing.
Yeah, AFCO Racing bought Legends, are like really big in the suspension community. So I know the shocks. I think they come, they probably come down the assembly line or whatever, and then they're sent to AFCO or whoever they do it. I don't know, but I know they revalve them, they lengthen them, and that company is like top notch.
Yeah.
You know,
They felt good. I didn't change mine, except I think I lowered mine a little bit, front and rear, to turn better
right?
at that track.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. I love racing. It's a completely different kind of racing.
I missed it. I didn't realize how much I missed it because last year I kind of raced by myself a lot. Yeah. But actually, like having people
we had a lot of people there last weekend. That was cool.
Yeah, that were faster than me and like had more skill and stuff. I was like, this is sick again. Mm-hmm. I'm like ready to race. And I seen a fire in your ass, Joey, to want to race.
I tried to hold it together while I was there. It was, like I said in the last podcast, it's not about me. It's about my team. But you don't realize how much you love racing till you're there, right? Just like you said, last year kind of got a little stagnant for you. You're just going out and putting a clinic on for those guys as you should. You put in a lot of work on and off the bike to do so. I think that's one thing people don't realize about you is how fit you actually are. We're all athletes here. We could do cool things, but like you work very hard to actually be an athlete. But yeah, yeah,
I'd say it.
It's as humbly as I could say. You're watching dudes out there that you can beat, and you're like, man, like it just was sick, dude. It was sick.
You just want the opportunity to go shine, when you have the talent, and it's just like right there in front of you. But I think what like one of the coolest parts is so the bike I'm racing is Jake's old bike. He went undefeated on last year. It's the street stock.
Super street
stock. So yeah, bike is limited to what they have. And like for us to go out there, we didn't know exactly what to expect. Joey's like, sick, I want to come help and do this and do that. But like you just kind of start picking up what needs to be done. So like the team that we're on that Joe runs, there's 4 bikes racing. So imagine 4 riders, both tires need tire warmers, tires need to be changed, bikes need to be worked on. Like there was like, how many of us in the pits, dude? There was like 8 of us to man 3 bikes, 4 bikes at least, so it's like, it's a big program. So it's cool to go and watch it and kind of see what we can bring to the table to kind of help and eventually get Joey on the bike,
It's going to happen. It's just when type of thing down.
We're kind of like paving the path to like build another bike, hopefully, to come race,
It happens, it does, but man, I was talking to my wife after we got home, and I'm like, I could be so eager to race, or I can enjoy where I'm at. And I know that once I get on a bike, I'm gonna miss the days of just being able to support the boys. And dude, Jake's a legend. Your mechanic. Huge shout out to him, man. Like, just such a cool dude. He really listens when you speak to him, and I'm really big on that. I do a very good job listening to people when they talk to me. So he and I were having dope conversations. Like, you want to fix that real quick? Yeah, just turn it off.
Keep talking.
So Jake, but I don't want to speak for him, but I felt like he kind of took me under his wing a little bit, and then by the second day, I think he realized that I genuinely just wanted to help. So, like, he was teaching me how to
give him some tasks.
Well, bro, I've been riding dirt bikes my whole life. I don't know what the fuck a tire warmer is.
Neither did I. And then they're putting their fingers on the check, and I'm like, what?
He's like, put it on this side of the fucking valve stem. I'm like, okay. And I'm trying to get on. I'm like, I don't fit. He's like, you got to walk it. And he's like showing me all the, like, I learned a lot. And like, it makes me so happy that like my boys' intentions are, of course, to get me doing what they're doing, because that's what we do well together. We thrive off each other. At the end of the day, though, as soon as I swing a leg over one of those bikes, I'm going to show people what I'm capable of, but I'm also going to want to be right back where I am right now.
Imagine one more bike in our pit.
I mean, imagine Sender's only going 1, 2, 3. But
if it wasn't for Joe and his whole race program, bag racing would be very small. So it's a big hat off to Joe at Suburban Harley.
Yeah,
like,
and Rob.
Rob, who keeps it alive. Like, Joe comes out with 4 bikes to race.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we used to have 5.
What's cool is like, we did the hooligan racing, and I foresee in the future that hopefully we can influence some people to build some bikes and come race, kind of like the hooligan days. That's, I think, something that we can bring to the table, because there isn't a lot of guys out there. We do have a decent class, but like, dude, road racing is sick.
Mark Atkins would absolutely murder it out there. Seth Bryson, all the way down to like, I don't know if he'd be interested, but dude, if we get Brad Spencer on a bike. You know, Frankie's already showing that it's fun to do at the top level. It's fun to do it at the bottom level. It would just be so cool to have like a reunion with all those guys.
That's the plan. Like that's obviously why I wanted to talk about it. And Rob's been saying, let's talk about it in the podcast. We need some super street guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's affordable to get in.
It's the bagger super hooligan class. Let's be real. That's what that class is. It's super street. You know, if that tall seat wasn't on there and those mid controls weren't on there,
and like a little bit taller bars.
That's the bike you ride.
I'd ride it to Sturgis.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and it's got a cam in it and it's running race fuel. So
that
it runs
motor
great.
though, you could get to Sturgis and back.
100%.
It's built to last. They're not rebuilding that.
Yeah.
Which is
Super
nice.
street has a lot of potential and it just looks like such good fun.
Well, that's what we're taking to Australia. It's only super street for now.
Right.
Okay.
So then it's affordable. Like you can go buy a wrecked bagger for $5,000, put some suspension in it, motor. You could be walking out for
Let's
pretty
talk
cheap.
about your class. So I learned, like, I was wondering the whole time, it was cool to talk to Jake and Joe and a little bit about like the motors in those bikes, just so everyone knows those things are insane. They're spinning them to like 8,000, to like 14-to-1 compression, running on E85, like 170, 180 wheel horsepower NA.
Nuts.
You know, those bikes are sick.
It is the coolest thing I've ever ridden.
That was your first time riding that bike this weekend.
Same thing.
I remember Jake come back into the pit like, dude, I said whack the throttle and the thing just wants to stand up.
He comes in, he's like, I can't get out of fourth gear. He's like, it's too fast under
So
fourth
I
gear.
just stayed in fourth and cruised around. But it's the thing is, it had power at $2,000. It had power at $8,000. Like
Right, all the way through.
it had power wherever I wanted it. That was
you
what
were
was
going
nice.
so fast. Like I was stressed out when you were coming down the straightaways, grabbing gears. It blew my mind how quickly you were gaining speed. Like, could you imagine taking that thing to the salt flats and just holding
Oh
on?
my god, dude! I didn't even. It's probably a 6-speed, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I didn't get it
No,
out of
so
fourth.
that's one thing I talked to Joe about too, is that is a factory, that's an OEM transmission in that bike. The gears are back cut and it has some like cryo treat done to it, you know, but nothing crazy.
Shifted so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still mind blown on like how fast I can turn a corner on a Harley Davidson.
Yeah. Shout out to Ben too from Impact Wiring.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
a
working
legend.
on your guys' bike all weekend.
Ben's dope.
Yeah, they threw those bikes together all last week. Joe was
Well, the
on,
heads didn't show up till last week.
right, so they were on the dyno until the night they left from Wisconsin with the big rig.
Yep.
So those things,
And not a single hiccup. Don't get me wrong, the thing's 14-to-1 compression running on an E85, so of course it doesn't like to start. But when they got that thing fired up, there wasn't an issue. Like,
Yeah.
that was
there's
very
a lot
impressive.
of throttle mapping.
Yeah, well,
You
the
know?
thing is, since the mapping wasn't right from the start because I was so late with it, Ben had to like do changes after every ride, but he was so sick. I'd be like, hey man, it's doing this here in this part of the track, and boom, it'd be fixed.
Yeah, he's
He's
smart.
so smart.
Joe
Yeah.
has a good team.
Such a sick team. You'd hate to be on any other team. Like
But
it's so
it's
good.
cool though, because there's also guys showing up in like sprinter vans or truck and trailer, and it's very doable. You know, I seen I forget what was it, Myers 187. I went
Yeah.
and scoped his Instagram out, and like, dude, he like panned a video of his bike bone stock with like ape hangers on it, and the dude like had all his parts laid out. He built it right there in his garage, running the pro stock class in your class.
Yeah.
You know, and he's putting down good lap times.
Yeah, it's cool. It's honestly such a cool sport for that.
Yeah.
Like the bike I'm on wouldn't be able to go compete at Moto America. That's the difference.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a trip. Those bikes are insane.
Yeah. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like coming from a motocross background and getting dirty and cleaning bikes and stuff like that. And then you're at the road racing course, you feel like you're at a luxury sport. You get off, everything's clean. Bikes on the tires, warmers.
I've never had anything like that. It was
Nah.
like, dude.
It's crazy, huh? You get in there and pull your bike in.
Yeah, shout out to the guys at Bridgestone. Every
Rory.
time
He's the
dude,
man.
Is that who
Rory-
that was in the black hat?
I
Who
can't
was
remember.
putting the tire warmers on?
No, that was his. That was
Who was that?
That's Jay.
So we're talking about the dudes from Bridgestone. They were in the Bridgestone van,
Yeah.
dude. So that was Rory. He's
Rory.
super cool legend. Doesn't that dude? He races. He's gonna
He
be racing in
races.
Ohio.
He'll be
I
in
think.
Mid-Ohio on the vintage bikes.
Old dude. He's like in his 40s, 50s. Dude, but we would get off the track, come down pit row before we even get to the crew. Rory was standing there waving you down. You know, he stops you, him and his dude that he's working with. They check your tire pressure. They check your tire temps, ask if you need changes. Like, that shit was sick.
It was sick.
Yeah, it made you feel comfortable on the bike.
Dude, that's the best thing. Like, you're going dangerous speeds, but you have them to go, like, if you need anything changed, like, we're here to help. On a dirt bike, you're like, I'm going to do a couple clicks in the front, a couple clicks in the rear, and hopefully go 2 seconds quicker.
Joey said you guys are racing on the 18th.
Yeah, what's up with that?
A Verona.
Yeah.
It's a local, just like a local series.
in.
That
It's our local track.
You
that
can
we grew
come
up
pit for
racing.
us.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's cool what that series is doing. Let me look up the name real quick. But
when are you going to race? You're going to get a dirt bike Foley? Always looking at it.
We're going to finish the drift truck first.
Do that and then worry about it.
Yeah.
We need 2 dirt bikes in the back of it while you spin.
But then I might be spending so much on tires I can't afford a dirt bike.
Bridgestone. We good. We good. But yeah, no, dude, you rode sick. You went 1-1. That bike is undefeated. It's never lost a race. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Dirt bike. What do you got?
It'll be the SoCal Vintage, which is
I've heard of that. That's been around.
Scott Burnworth, and he passed away, so they're keeping the legacy alive. So there'll be like a tribute race for him that will only be 125s, 250s, and 500cc 2-strokes. And there'll be a bunch of vintage classes.
So we can't race then?
No, there'll be modern classes too. So we're going to race modern classes. But
it's just the series. Like what he brings is those classes, you know?
Yeah, and the burner, there wasn't a thing he wouldn't do for anybody growing up. So when I saw that they're like keeping his race series alive, I figured it's the least we can do to go support it. You know, $55.
How many laps is it?
Hopefully 3.
I'm only good for 2.
Yeah.
I'm fast for 1.
Yeah, you're going to watch me lead, and then you're going to watch me lose.
When was the last time you did a gate start on a dirt bike?
Bro.
Ages. I don't know. Have you even done one since we've been riding stunt bikes?
I haven't done one since I've been on a 450.
No, I'll be starting in 3rd.
We've done some like back alley races, but...
Oh, dude, no, my new bike's got TC. 2-step, dude. I'll be fine. It ain't fucking looping on me. Now it will, because I said that.
That would be cool. Well, we might make it there. Or
we probably will. I'll probably go.
Cool.
Well, that's the weekend. That's the only weekend we kind of got free.
So
that'll be cool. Race that weekend.
Well, so let's start with May is now a full month, realistically. So next weekend, we might go to Utah. Supercross.
I'm calling it. I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to go. Well, like everyone's
hang out
gonna
with
be
Max, and then the weekend after will be that race.
Dude, you have to go. You'll finally get to see how bad he is on a mountain bike.
Dude,
you have to go.
I don't know how to do the opposite.
We won't
brakes.
even go down that road.
You have to go. It's so cool.
We're going.
So first weekend is Utah. That's up in the air, kind of.
Up
Second weekend is
dirt bike racing now.
No, that's the 18th. That's gonna be the 3rd weekend.
Let's pull the calendar up.
So I think second week will be our bike night.
So what's the date on Utah?
Utah would be next weekend, which would be the 10th, right?
So that's yeah. So he's right. The first weekend of May will be this weekend. We ain't got nothing going, and then next weekend will be Supercross,
and then the weekend
after that would be dirt bikes.
Bike night is the 10th, though, isn't it?
Is the 10th?
Oh yeah.
Sick.
So
what are we doing, stunt show?
We're gonna do like a local just bike night with BNS.
Just gonna come hang out and get some people together.
Yeah, I mean we may ride like dickheads, but it's not.
So let's evaluate on that. What do we expect and who's coming out? Should we invite some people?
BNS Brewing is allowing us to use their space. LFG will be doing their slow races and all that cool stuff that they took something that respectfully shouldn't be big as a slow race, and they've turned it into something big.
Yeah, so they win cool prizes.
It's funny because it really is another art of riding. Like when we're riding
you motherfucker's good at it.
Yeah.
When we're riding stunt shows, like we're in the pits, dude, we're always like, we park each other. You know, that's like part of slow racing.
Yeah.
You know, it is really fun. It really is.
Yeah, and that
takes bike
shows
skill.
like Dustin's put a lot of hard work into it because now people want his belt buckles, which is cool.
Yeah.
So he'll be doing all that. We'll have local vendors out there. Really good food. BNS has insane food.
Where is BNS?
It's on the frontage road off the 67 right there. So if you take the 67 till it's almost over, you look to your left, you'll see it right there. Get off on Riverford, go into the bridge, turn left, it'll be right over there.
Super close to here.
Correct, right down the street. So that's what we're trying to do is bring bike nights back to East County. And, you know, the local Harley dealer is going to support it. LFG will be there, we'll be there. And then everything's kind of early on because it's kind of been like a last second push, so...
Cool. Well, hopefully some people that are listening to this can get involved and come out. We'll have our stunt bikes out there, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, you'll be in Utah.
Is that Utah weekend?
Yeah. But we'll be there.
No. We will see.
As you can tell, we're figuring out the plans as we speak to you people.
And then 10th, and then the next weekend's dirt bike race.
Dirt bike race. Then Nebraska. We're going back for the second round of bag racing.
We haven't booked our flights yet. We've been
we're
bitching
supposed to
about
do
that
that
all day. Yeah, so we'll try and figure that out.
That sucks. And then it's the next month. Crazy.
Yeah, dude. And then Sturgis is only like a month.
And then we
after
race
that.
again that month.
We race it every month, which is crazy.
Right.
And then update for bag racing. Last round's in September in Vegas.
Vegas.
Same weekend as SMX.
Yeah.
It's not what's on the schedule. It says
They've just changed
they
it. They
moved
updated
it.
it on the weekend. I did some broadcasts on it. So they're going to do it. We qualify race Friday night. And then I think we race before the SMX race Saturday. And then another one Sunday.
Sick.
But it's all linked in so it doesn't collide with SMX, and we'll be going to SMX too.
That'd be sick.
And then obviously Rob hit me up to race the mini bikes on the SMX track the Friday night.
Sick.
I might hand that off to you.
Let him break his ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah, say less. I'll do it.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
You have to,
Backflip the
you have to race
finish line.
Deegan.
That's fine.
Yeah, so that's going to be crazy. Honestly, from now on, so pinned.
It wouldn't be Hayden. It'd be Huxon.
The younger brother. Does
Yeah,
it.
dude. I'll make the news, dude.
Do something real stupid.
Yeah. Asshole takes out 14-year-old kid.
You'll be in that Thor gear.
You mean the canvas gear?
Yeah, we'll make you some.
Anyways.
So obviously we've been talking about, we've been working super hard on the website. We're honestly getting very, very close to dropping it. We're going to have some exclusive merch, some stuff we'll drop a limited amount. So we'll be keeping everyone updated on that, which will be cool. Well, we're working on designs right now, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we're going to do a limited drop. It's going to be as the website drops, but we'll have more information as that comes now. But we're probably only a few weeks away.
Yeah, and everyone that's lent a hand on that, you know who you are. We could not be more grateful. There's been some really key players that have helped make this whole website easier. Has not made it easy because it has been like, I think 200% more than we thought it was going to be.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of hard work.
I thought it was going to be like kind of
For
easy.
our standard, though.
I thought we were building the MySpace page. I'll be real with you, but to those key people that have lent a hand, and having gate kept things, like I can't thank you enough.
Yeah,
it's
and
just
I would
been
like
huge.
to say thank you to Dan McNamara, DM Studio, who has been working on it. Even he says like I put a lot more time in than I quoted, but he's super stoked, and he really wants to get to America. He's an Australian kid that wants to build websites and do cool stuff over here, so he has put a lot of effort in. And
once we show people what he's built, we're happy to help you do that as well with him.
Yep. So that's been super, super cool.
So make sure you hit the website, buy some gear, buy some parts, so we can ride motorcycles and Masters can live in America.
Yeah, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, he's relying on you.
Oh, sick. What else we got?
Dude, we've actually got senders only dirt bike gear coming.
Yeah.
So that's going to be dope.
I'm going to have to earn that, huh?
You're going to have to get a bike first. I'm not printing you shit.
You know what really grinds my gears, dude, is like the first day he gets back on a bike, he's just going to be right there again. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
He's a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm going to add a good streak of taking myself out.
Dude, but you took it well on the weekend by not doing anything crazy. You actually like.
I saw so many opportunities where I know what 2 years ago would have done, and I was like, all right, sick. Like I'm stoked. Like he's taking it easy.
Yeah.
I didn't see him push until exactly what we said was going to happen. Frankie was on his ass, and then we cut 2 seconds.
Oh, wait, let's say that this guy who has been racing Moto America, or racing Harleys forever, isn't he sponsored
Frankie
by
Garcia. So we've only known Frankie for it's probably been, don't know exactly, between 5 to 8 years. We met him through flat track racing, right?
Dude, we're getting old. It's coming up on 10 years. Bro.
Is it? I don't know if Frankie started in the dirt or if he started in road racing, but I know Frankie, I know he's rode super bikes on racetrack. You know, he's ran 140s at that track that I just raced him at.
on a super bike.
Yeah.
And then he went to Harleys?
Ruben's running 151s on a full GP bike. So that just tells you how fast Frankie is, you know?
Frankie's an industry dude that rips.
Get on anything.
Dirt bikes. Like he's super close.
Is he a dirt bike guy too?
Dude, he's close as Ricky Carmichael. That whole RCH thing they had going on for a while, he was super big part of that. He still has old Suzukis from that team. So like there's not really Frankie is the man. Like if you give Frankie a set of handlebars, disgusting. But he's also very smart and intricate with his decisions. So now he's an industry dude. You go on Harley's page right now, he's with the microphone talking about homecoming and stuff like that. But he also rode for Factory Indian for Roland Sands Designs. He also rode for Factory Triumph, racing for them. Like he was part of the release trying to make the Ducati Scrambler a super hooligan bike. Yep. And he showed up and we waxed him. No. He held his ground.
He has his days. We all have our days, you know. He's fast.
You went out and had to race him on Sunday.
Yeah, it was funny.
And he was on slicks.
Yeah,
he was on slicks. His bike definitely like, it was a really, I mean, that's one thing I asked him is just like, how was the bike? You know, and he had no complaints besides it. He was like, I was on my primary the whole time.
I was just watching a video back before when I was just doing the YouTube video, and you hear you coming in off the main straight and turn left, and you hear.
Really? On one of my
when
videos?
You're on the throttle? Yeah, I was just watching your GoPro or DJI videos.
Dude, I was
like, you can hear it.
Yeah. So I was like, I was a couple times I put on the primary on the gas and I was like, oh my God, I was going to die. But I can't wait to go do it again.
Yeah, I'm stoked that Frankie come and race you because you had a real contender and you didn't just go out and...
I earned it.
Oh, you definitely
that fucker made me earn that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob said it. That was the closest that bike's come so far. And like there was an opportunity for undefeated bike to not become undefeated. Right. And you know for a fact Foley was thinking about that while
Frankie didn't want to lose.
It literally went through my mind like, I can't let Frankie pass me.
Good.
But like, and that was the first time I think ever racing a motorcycle where I was ever able to gather my thoughts and tell myself, like, get your composure, get it together, breathe.
You can breathe on a Harley. Road
Kind
racing. Because you go down a straight and go, all right, but on a dirt bike track, I feel like that's not happening.
No.
It's fucking.
Well, I feel like that depends on the track.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing I learned about street bike racing with all these Moto America kids. They're like, there's no level spot on this track. Like everyone's telling us to chill out on that fucking straightaway. But it's cambered, it's slanted. So I'm going 160 and I'm still having to hold on. Like there's no time to chill. And that was one thing I was stoked about where you guys raced this last weekend, Chuck Walla, is that straightaway you guys were able to keep your composure. I knew he had a moment when he was flying by and I'm telling him like, yo, he's right there. And he looks at me and he's nodding. I'm like, all right, like he's good. Like I
can hear him. I was full NASCAR. I was fucking killing my lefts, dude.
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby, you know? I'm stoked to go to Nebraska and learn how to go right now.
Right.
I could not go right to save my life.
Because there's a lot of rights, a lot of S's and switchbacks. There's one fast straight, but you got to turn right in the straight. There's like a kink in it. So the super street bike's good for that because you're low to the ground. You can just really tuck in.
Right.
But
I'm pumped for Nebraska.
Same.
We'll tell you guys again, but you have to tune in. It is BRL.
The BRL YouTube's the Bagger Racing League, and then it's also on Racer TV
Racer
Live.
TV, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can watch lap times and all that stuff too. We'll put that in there. It's like Speed Hive channel.
Yeah. If you go back and watch the Pro Stock GP race from Saturday afternoon, that'll give you a good laugh too.
Yeah. Oh, just people flying off the track.
I seen 3 crashes. I was from third to second to first to second, then back to first.
Dude, how about Clay?
Dude.
He was flying.
His bike was upside down.
Yeah.
In the end of it.
He was
after
ripping.
the crash. If you go on YouTube, my YouTube, you'll see it. It's pretty crazy.
He surprised me. I didn't expect Clay to check out and really like pull a gap out the front like that. Just like
he was gone
straight away.
Yeah.
He was gone.
And then you started closing the door. I called it before I started that back corner we talked about, how you were feeling good, wheeling through it. I watched you start closing the gap back there. And I knew right away. And
First 2 laps, I was a bit timid and I knew Danny was right on my ass. I was like, I'm just going to ride like protective. And then I started clocking laps. Then I seen, because I have a timer on my screen, and I seen a 156 click, and I'm like, oh, I'm on. And then I just started reeling him in every lap.
Sick.
It was wild. But yeah.
On the Motec.
My Motec has a lap timer.
Wow.
So I'd go, it was like 2 minutes, 159, 158, 157. Then I did a 156, and my confidence went real high. And there's like wind, there's sand coming on the track. I'm like, this is a dirt bike race.
It's cool, dude. There's straight bikes that are roadworthy, and there's bikes like ones in your class where they're running full Motec screens and they're data logging all the suspension and like really pushing it to the next level. So go build a bike and come race.
Come race. It's sick. Hey, the Brawl at the end of the month. Is
that end of this month?
May.
What about the race?
It's the weekend before.
It's the weekend before the brawl.
So we race, and then
And
the
then come
brawl's at the end of May.
Sick.
Are you gonna ride it?
That's gonna be cool. I don't know.
You gonna ride it?
No,
You're done riding
I don't want to compete.
them. You should ride it.
Never know.
Yeah, Foley's sick in that lot.
I just like riding with my friends.
Yeah.
Go fast, turn left. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Me and Joey have rode the brawl for since
We're at the
very first one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yous were the ones that started it, really.
And it's a lot of energy. You know, it's a lot of time. It's just like, you know, racing the baggers now. You know how you put so much thought into it and all that stuff. Like we went through all that. You know, so like just to take a step back and like just go be a part of it and be there and help Max where we can, and you know provide what we can in any way is just that is like. It feels good just to do that, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
We used to be the guys that were like, "Yo, like I want to win. I want to."
I've got to do this. I've got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Selfishly, it'd be dangerous for me to be out there. My head's not in it, but I want to be there. Like I want to go enjoy it. And have
we'll
fun.
go have a booth set up. Our website should be flying by then, so I'm hoping we have some cool new merch and stuff to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ride it because I'm the young guy and I'm new to it, but I only just have fun out there.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy watching all the new guys and talking to them, and just like I don't know, it's rad watching everyone come up.
Yeah,
yeah, and we didn't know it, but that's why we were riding it back then, and it's become more apparent to me. Like it's just, I respectfully, and I'm not mad about it. Like guys like myself need to get out of the way, and so these young kids can come in and show me shit that I never even thought of, you know, because they're doing crazy shit now, dude. And like I don't even want to do it. I just want to watch them do it because it's fucking nuts.
Double hand drags, dragging their head.
yeah.
Get
the
fucked.
switchback drifting, feet up.
Get
like,
fucked.
I'm like, dude, it's just that phase of like I'm willing to do anything and destroy anything
To
you
win.
know?
Dyna Nate was like the first of that kind,
You better,
and now
you
all
better
these
show up to
kids,
San Diego, Nate.
He will
dude,
be
like
there.
they're literally willing to die.
Yeah,
And I'm
on
just
that
not.
thing.
Like they're doing rev limiter. Like Nate's got his throttle stuck, and he's
Throttle
doing a
hand
throttle
on the
hand
Rev limiter.
rev
coaster.
limiter
I
coaster.
seen that at Sturgis and was like, what?
He's willing to die.
Yeah.
I'm not. No disrespect, because that's gnarly. But then Nate started that, and now all these dude, they're just crazy. I can't compete. I really can't. They're way gnarlier than me. I just have good style and I like to ride.
It has become like it's a sport, you know.
100%.
The brawl is an opportunity for kids to like showcase what they can do, you know, and get companies involved and get help. And because it's not cheap to keep the bikes going.
Mm-mm.
You know, Harleys are not cheap.
Dude, if I didn't know you guys, I wouldn't still be able to
It's
ride
hard.
here and do it all.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's part of like, you know, just because you show up and you don't get first, or, you know, you're showing up to learn, to see new things, to help, you know, build your program and stuff. You know, there's a lot that goes to it than just being the top 3 rider.
Dude, now that we're becoming company owners and we have the opportunity to help some kids, I can tell you right now, I'd rather support the kid with a really good attitude getting 6th place than the dude up there pissed off because he got 2nd.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm super stoked with this website too, come and be able to help a lot of people get some more affordable stuff. And
Yeah, we're gonna run some sick deals.
yeah,
We want to give shit away, not raffles.
these podcasts will
not
no,
that
not
kind of
raffles.
shit.
We want to
wanna
give
be able
stuff
to
away.
Give back to the community, give shit away, and help as much as we can.
Yeah.
You know, so you will see a lot of that. We got to get it up and going, and we got to make some funding and stuff. But you will see that coming from us.
100%, especially the kids that we think deserve it. Like there's a lot of yous out there that don't get seen or heard because you aren't gay, but or do gay shit. But anyway, but no, there's some sick kids out there. Like when we even went to the Arizona lot, we've said on the last one, there was some kids out there you've never even heard of or seen riding. You're like, this is sick.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's where I'm at right now with all of that. And I'll say that every podcast, you know, go ride the brawls, sign up, and we'll be there watching, and we'd love to help you get further in the, you know,
yeah,
the industry needs more of that.
for sure.
And the drifting stuff, the whole drifting stuff that's going on right now. That stuff's cool. That's going to be coming up as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alex. He's really stepped up now. He's doing Slide GP. He's got some cool locations locked in. I'm definitely going to do a couple this year. I love supporting my homies, and he's definitely one of them.
It's very equivalent to the brawl.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just a whole new sport with it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are getting paid to go do that stuff now, to travel across the country to go show up to that, which is crazy.
Yeah, I wish that's where everyone would live, in that headspace that's competing in those, is that, you know, it's just about another avenue to get sponsors to help you out, you know?
Yeah. It's cool. Like Harley Davidson's coming on board for some of them and all that crazy stuff. Like, yeah.
I'm curious to see what Corey does with this new alien looking
Sportster. What is it? Sportster. It's got a Pan Am motor in it, 1250.
It's got a little bit different of tuning and a little bit different of a. It's like because those bikes have like real velocity stacks underneath the gas tank because the gas tank's like an airbox, I think. Right. That's on the nicer. I don't know if the S is if the gas tank's in the right place or not. I just know that the velocity stack and the tune is a little different in the Pan America, but it is the same motor. So you can.
Oh, the thing's fast. I rode that Pan Am to Arizona and back. And
we've never got our hands on one of those sports dresses. That might be one of the only bikes that we haven't touched or even like got to take apart or anything. So I'm curious to see what Corey does.
Yeah,
with it.
I've ridden one, but not like you know what I mean. I did it for the local dealer doing like a product shoot literally last week, and it just. Obviously, I'm fucking
3-wheel track.
I saw you riding a track.
Yeah, dude.
Thing was fresh as fuck though.
Hey, dog, I'm getting paid to go ride a bike around town.
We're not putting shit on you. We're putting shit on you.
Dude, I'll ride the trike to fucking Sturgis. They pay me enough.
Oh my god! If you rode that thing to Sturgis, that would blow my mind.
You ever seen someone split lanes on a trike?
I will.
I'll do it.
Just getting caught between cars.
Boom. But I just felt like I'm 7 feet tall, so that bike's not for me, you know. But it was fast.
Did you get on 2 wheels?
No, because it's literally the first time in my career where I'm literally just shooting product videos. Like they're not hiring me to do what I want to do. So I have to like listen and like every time before I hop on the bike, I'm like telling the GM, I'm like
he's really doing him a favor.
Just one burnout. Like just one burnout. And they're like, no. But yeah, I think last week Baker and I rode 12 bikes
in one day.
12 bikes.
Yeah,
you're gonna
that's
see
a sick duo. Baker does sick videos, you know?
Yeah.
And then having him on the bike, promoting it and all that, it's a good duo.
If I got to go give up a couple hours of my week to make sure that they're using the right camera guy, like I don't care what dealership it is. The Harley world needs to stop.
They need to be doing that stuff though.
Well, these dealerships out here are treating it like it's a competition, and I know it is, but at the end of the day, you guys are all selling the same product. It's just like the stunt world.
Yeah.
15 of you are all going out there, and guess what? You're all gonna do a hand drag. You may look a little cooler than him. Your bike's a little fancier, but it's the same shit. So like all these dealerships are selling the same bikes, doing the same thing. And if I can help bridge that gap a little bit for them to stop being such cocksuckers to each other, I'm there.
It's funny. We sell a lot of bikes for El Cajon and for San Diego. We've even sent bikes to National City.
That's crazy.
We don't pick favorites. Obviously, San Diego Harley gave me a bike. I love them. Shout out Dan. Like they're gonna be the first place I send you.
They're our home team for sure.
San Diego, but El Patron Harley is still my hometown. National City Harley is still trying. You know, Biggs Harley is legendary. All these Harley dealers have it, dude. Shit, like I'm friends with the owner of El Cajon, fucking Indian. If you want an Indian, I know where to send you. Like I'm about supporting good people. I'm not gonna pick a side because you're giving me a paycheck. I never will.
You're just the plug.
I try. If at the end of my day, if I can make my living off introducing the right people to the right people, then I feel better about that. You know?
No gatekeeping.
No.
Yeah.
Spread the love.
So
yeah, you boys are big on that, which is awesome to come into a scene that's like
we
that.
do it a lot. We just don't post about it. A lot of people think we're dicks.
Yeah.
But we do a lot for the community.
100%.
Yeah.
You did a lot for an Australian that just randomly walked in one of these bike set up to stunt. You know,
goes both ways though.
Yeah.
You know, we don't just do it for anyone. You know what I'm saying? We do it for the right reasons, you know?
And the amount of people that have done it for us, it's crazy, dude. When I really look back and I hear people say self-made, I was like, well, you probably were just a dickhead. Because like I watch like the people that have gone out of their way to help us, it's crazy. I can't wait to have a bank account where I can do more, you know. So, but Harley dealers around here have been each other's neck, and I'm just trying to help.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they're having to juggle so much. Dude.
Is it Harley Davidson that puts that on them, like, or is it them putting it on them?
It's crazy. A lot of people who work at like certain dealers have worked at every fucking.
Yeah, they go through all of them.
You know, so it's like
they're in a monopoly. You know, and monopoly isn't always a bad thing. I think people hear that word, you know, and think that like, all right, well, it's under like a magnifying glass and shit. It's very extensive now. You know, a lot of big names own a lot of dealers now, and they have to report to those big names. They're also publicly shared. If you don't know how that works, look that up and read about how a publicly shared company has to move, and it will make a lot more things make sense to you of why certain corporations have to do things the way they are. Because it's not just about them, it's about these hundreds, sometimes thousands of people that have shares in their business. And you piss off your shareholders, it's over. And then you have other dealers like San Diego Harley that are owned by a single entity that may own other dealers, but they can do whatever they want. And so these companies are trying to maneuver all that, and it's rough, you know, and especially for a guy like me, like I realized years ago, like I can either get mad and say they're not giving me what I want, or I can figure out how to get what I want. And honestly, it's just been teaching me how to run my own company even more.
Would you still like to own a Harley dealer?
Would I personally?
Joey, it's funny. We talk about a lot of shit on the road. And I know everyone's mind changes. You know, it might change fucking next month, you know, because you learn as you go.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're like, I don't know, but like.
In California, no. My mind, you know.
You're limited to a lot of stuff here,
yeah.
I was just mind blown on the stuff Joe from Suburban HD was telling us with like.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Suburban Harley.
Shout out to Joe who does the race team. He kind of like brought me to America. Well, Rob did, and then Joe put me on, and then I never kind of left. But yeah, he was saying some stuff to us the other day about how he used to sell parts across pretty much the world.
Worldwide,
and they got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost a lot of money from it, which is crazy because it's like, why? But then you find out why and what they say and why they did it. And you're like, oh, they should. It's like, never fair.
It's a big company.
I have so much to say right now about all that, and I don't know like what would be valuable for me to like put out publicly. But at the end of the day, like they should have just surveyed more. They should have reached out to who was, you know, and I'm talking by they, I mean corporate Harley.
Yeah.
They should have done more research on what was what and why was what. Like
for sure.
Why people were doing the things they were. Because they cost a lot of people a lot of money trying to put more money in their pockets, and it just hurt everybody.
For sure.
So,
and I feel like if you're listening to this, go support your local dealer.
100%.
Yeah, it is important because they're a big
Spend
Harley
the extra
company.
$25 and go to your dealer. Stay off, you know, the internet. Sometimes we need the internet, and it is good, but support your local dealer.
If you're shopping on Amazon for your Harley, I can't get with that. I just can't, you know.
100%.
And then you don't want to go to your local dealer because they're overpriced, so you go to your aftermarket shop. But your aftermarket shop won't be in business anymore if Harley's not selling bikes. I don't have bikes to write up work orders for if the dealer's not selling them. There's only X amount of old FXDXs. There's only X amount of twin cam baggers.
I'm so sad when the FXDXs it's kind of like get to that point.
They pretty much already are, and it's sad. They're like the FXRs now. By the time we get our hands on them, 15 people have touched them. Nothing was put back together the right way, and it's just...
Fuck you, Reckless.
The whole East Coast and crew is just...
Nah, dude, they're lowrider
boys.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I was thinking that when I first started and bought my first, I'm like, damn, this is an 02. Like, this is the last I'm going to get. And then they just keep popping up. But
well, like, Harley Davidson's in a turning point right now. And if the scene doesn't acknowledge that we control that next turning point, it's just going to continue to be something for people to bitch about. Like, we got to help them out. We got to sell bikes. We got to make them cooler.
Well, the new bikes are sick. Look at the STs. So look at the Road Glides, the CVO Road Glide.
There's carbon fiber all over it. They're listening.
I seen one on the weekend at the races, and I'm like, wow, that's sick.
The Pan America ST is literally because of what you guys are doing. They just released an adventure bike with 17-inch wheels, front and rear. That's not an adventure bike anymore.
Yo, how about that? The Pan Am race bikes. Go buy a Pan Am and build that.
Apparently, it's the cheapest way to do it.
It's a cheat code.
The thing's ready to go.
It's a cheat code.
Dude.
And now they come with 17s.
Joe reckons his one is stock motor. You just go race the
put
thing.
a pipe on it and tune it.
Yep, that's it.
And then put
Take
full
the kickstand
suspension
off it.
wheels. You know, like there's plenty of people out there that'll give you help to build those things.
And the aftermarket world's catching on. The Pan America parts are coming up huge, but that bike is going to stop being looked at as
Does
an
SPC have a pipe for one of them things yet?
We do not, but it's in the works.
Please.
But that bike's gonna go away from being an adventure bike, and it's gonna become basically like a big street fighter.
It's fast.
They're so fast.
If you haven't ridden one, find a way to ride one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're crazy. So I was writing down some things we should talk about today. And since the last podcast got a heap of hype from all Foley's crashes,
Oh God.
I was gonna ask Joey, what's your biggest crash? And do you have it on film? Or your sketchiest moment that you've saved?
He's had a lot of crashes.
We all
He
have.
has. I've seen him hit his head quite a few times.
Yeah.
What would happen? What do you think your worst one would be? And
like
do you have it on
injury
film?
wise or like
Just what you think your worst crash is? Like, it got a bunch of hype around your one into the barrier the other day.
Mhm.
That was mad. Was that your biggest Harley crash?
like stunt riding?
Yeah.
Yeah, stunt riding
Yeah.
probably. I've gotten head on with a couple.
Your
cars.
biggest stunt riding crash?
What about when you like the second or third gear roller that you tucked the front tire?
At
Was
the
that
spot?
pretty bad? No, you got up and walked away pretty good from that one.
I'd say the worst one that comes into my head, and it's not on video, unfortunately, but the one where we were riding stunt shows for Moto America, and I was drifting around, and it just, I don't even know what happened. It just sent me over the bars, and it just fucked my shoulder. And then I have a couple I can pull it from like the Bolt days when I was like learning rev limiter coasters, and just the bike just yacht out from right under me.
He does a lot of slow tricks, so when he crashes, they're never
Get
like
away from
they're
him.
bad. He hits his head or like injures himself, but there's never like really, really, really violent ones like the
That
one
roller where I fucked my gas tank last year, like right after Nicole finished it, that one like knocked me out. I don't remember.
You
like,
were pretty upset and like depressed for a few days after that because of
I
the
wasn't
head
there.
knock.
I couldn't
Yeah.
like I just
wasn't
couldn't.
either.
It was so hard. Like afterwards, like I couldn't get my fucking head. And like as a man, not to get on a bad, or as a human, not to get on a bad trace there, but like if you've had concussions, you need to
Look
take it
after it.
seriously. And you know, a really good person to guide you on that. He's guided me a lot. Is Ethan with Speedwell. He does a lot of bags now, but he has rocked his dome harder than I ever have, and he's who got me back on track with understanding how concussions work and et cetera, and wear a good helmet, not one that's sold on Amazon, and like wear a good real helmet like that's been proven and tested.
I was talking about the roller where you had the crash bar on your bike and you almost killed me down by the semis.
Yeah, that one I was fine. It destroyed my bike.
Let's tell them about that one. We don't have that on video.
You used to do stunt shows for Moto America and travel around with them. I don't know if many people know that.
It was through the Ives brothers. We were doing it at Moto America, but that came about. Did we do that when we left Sturgis?
Yeah, so that first one we talked about in the first podcast where we went to Sturgis as amateurs and they sent us back pros, was we left Sturgis and went to Sonoma Raceway for Moto America. Chuck was happy with us, and then we continued to travel them.
Chuck was rad. Is he still with Moto America? Do you?
No idea. I fell out of all that. I've been so focused on just us. Like I haven't been talking to
That's
anybody.
sick. But you had some big crashes at them shows.
I had one really bad one, and then another one where it was completely my fault, but I sent him.
Where you filled up on gas?
Yeah,
he ran out of gas.
I sent him into the crowd,
and then I had to go ride the show for like 5 or 10 minutes by myself. And he pulled back in, and like I don't even know if I remember him being behind me or not. And I'm was I doing a Larry down there? Yeah, no, yeah. I watched him wheelie towards me, wheelied in, wheelie towards me. I'm doing a Larry. I'm like, we ride so close together, whatever. Like swung around, and he set it down on my back tire, and I'm on the limiter, and it just went full speed through the fence, dude.
You did?
Yeah, my
And
bike
you were
did.
fine.
My dude, it came out from underneath me. My bike came out from underneath. It was crazy, dude.
So I ran out of fuel. We're in a huge motorsport park. I can't even tell you which one. So they had fuel pumps inside
He
the
forgot
track.
he had just smoked 4 blunts before.
Yeah, this is when I was heavy on the reefer, dude, like heavy. And so I ran out of gas.
He was running on the wrong gas.
Well, dude, and like my bike started sputtering, and I'm like, I pointed my gas tank. He's like, good, go for it. And like this was like a gnarly one for me because his and I relationship was still pretty fresh. We're talking 2-3 years in, and he was really upset with me, and he had every right to be. So I left. I remember it all so clearly. I left the stunt area. That was the one where we showed up.
I was just embarrassed because I went through the fence.
He was pissed.
You deserve to go.
Yeah. Well, that was the one where we showed up, and the stunt area was
tiny, bro. And
you
it
couldn't even drift a go-kart in it.
It was you could like it was so slippery. It was tiny.
So I pull out, I get gas, I come back, and I'm wearing these stupid like black jeans that had no stretchiness. And the area is so small that you couldn't even really wheelie. So like I pulled up a wheelie and I took my foot off to stop,
slow wheelie.
and then turn it around. And when my pants were they wouldn't stretch. So my pants were so tight in the crotch area that when I put my foot down, it pulled my bike.
Oh.
So then it pulls my bike. I put it down, and there's Foley. And I just went right into the back of him, and like he's not exaggerating. The bike just went yacht, and he like stood there. It was like a TV show. Like he was just like floating, but there was no seat underneath. Like he was still on the bike, but the bike was gone.
Is that the bike you have now?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But it was still
just
black.
I think we were just so scared to like getting like to ruin our opportunity that we had.
Well,
you
and so
know?
the fence hit this lady's toes, and luckily she was mad cool.
took her out actually.
Yeah, like it went up on top of her toes. She fell down. She got up, and like they were super cool. We're like, yo, we'll do anything to make this right. She got them looked at. Her toes were actually everything was fine, and luckily that she was just really cool. But that was
That's your biggest stunt show crash?
no.
No.
That was just an embarrassing one.
Yeah, that was just
Squid move.
No.
So you haven't really answered what your biggest crash was.
I don't even
Like getting hurt wise or like fucked with me mentally.
Like just a big
Should
one.
we talk about Sturgis?
Yes, a Sturgis brawl.
He was still running a crash bar.
Yeah, that's why this
Wait,
story.
when was this? I wasn't even around then.
2018, maybe 19.
Partially why he's running a crash bar is this story.
I will never run a
Or
crash bar
wasn't.
again because of this story. If you've ridden at the Buffalo Chip, we've done a lot of brawls there. So a lot of people listening to this, other riders have ridden there, and they know that lot, no excuses, but that lot is fucked.
There's like 3 doubles. It goes like double, triple.
And so right in the middle of the lot, there's like a big drop off. And I did a hand drag, and I hit that drop off, and it threw me to the right. I saved it. And when I came back down, I remember as soon as I grabbed the handlebar, my bike just going, whoa. And it just took my bike.
This is when he was in the prime, too. Like,
Bro,
he was doing hand drag circles and shit.
It sucked my bike up. Like, there was nothing I could do. I was a way better rider then than I am now. I'm washed up now. This is when I would, like, no one could tell me nothing, right? And so I brought my bike down, and I remember it, like, sucking my bike out from underneath me. And I just fucking thud.
Crash bar went right in the fence.
I could get this video. I know who still has it. He blackmails me with it.
I'm going to need that.
We're going to need this for this.
Yeah, and so it grabbed my bike, sucked me away, and then like it's all on video, like pure adrenaline. I go over and it's my Dyna, a fence, and just this poor dude, and it's on top of him. And
crowd,
like, yeah.
It was a full fence, like it was stacked with people.
Yeah, there was probably 300 people on the fence, and then that's why now when you go to a brawl or you go to one of my stunt shows, there's 2 fences. That's
from that crash.
I will forever live on in the brawls because there's 2 fences because of your boy. And
He's
so
the
like
reason we have safety meetings.
yeah, pure adrenaline. I run over and I literally pick up the whole bike off of him, and the dude like immediately like just pops up. And I was young, dude. I'm a baby. Like I couldn't even grow. No, I was baby. And I remember homie putting his hand on my shoulder, and word for word he goes, "You need to go before this becomes something." And he shoves me back into the stunt area and pops the fence back up, and it was like it never happened.
What?
But like I couldn't bounce back. Like
it freaked you out in that lot and spooked you?
It was gnarly. It was violent.
It was violent.
It was loud, like metal fence.
And I turned around and my bike's just still running on top of a fence, on top of a human. And I was just like, dude, he's like, in my head, I'm thinking like, this guy's fucked.
Dead.
Yeah. And then like, it de-escalated so quickly. And then I found him later. And this is when I was riding for Bassani, riding for Feeling, riding for Lucky Days. I was like, dude, I'll outfit your whole bike. I'm so sorry. He wouldn't take anything. I tried to take him out to dinner. He wouldn't take anything.
Do you know his name? Do you still know his name?
No, and I wish I did because
it'd be sick to shout him out now.
That could have ended everything I had going on. And Rodney Sargent was there, and a couple other OGs were there, and they were like, "Hey, dude, like shit happens." Ashley, Smash Stunts, like really like had a good talk with me after that, and everyone like was trying so hard to like snap me out of it. But like that one, to this day, like
I just told him to take off the crash bar.
Just take it off. Did you ever run one?
No, I never have.
Yeah.
No, and after that, I never ran a crash bar again. I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, because I would have been fine.
Yeah.
It literally was the only thing that grabbed the fence. So.
Crash bars are 50-50. I've seen them do good. I've seen them do bad.
Man,
it's a double-edged sword. You know, I've seen them flip bikes. I've seen them, save bikes.
I nearly had a real bad accident with one. I was like riding through the mountains and I just got over too much. The crash bar grabbed and nearly took me off the side of the mountain.
Oh, that's that one you got on Amazon, huh?
It was one in Australia. I don't want to say the brand.
Fucking Aussies. Oh shit.
But yeah, that one was not good for a while.
The scariest one you've had.
It just
that's
like
finale.
I
Taking someone else out, it's what sucks.
Well, it ruined my trip and it was completely my fault. Like I couldn't snap out of it. Like I just stayed away from everybody for the next few days because I was like, I'm gonna say something I don't mean. I'm so on edge, and like everyone felt so bad for me. So that one stuck with me for a long time. Like a long time. I started riding shows much more chill, but it was a brawl. We were competing, so it was hard.
It's hard. Like you don't care if you hurt yourself or your bike and stuff like that. This is when you hurt someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you see people wheeling with chicks on the back doing real gnarly shit. It's just like it's cool until it's not.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
What happened to the TV?
Yeah, it turned off ages ago. Well, we already know what your biggest crashes are.
Kind of. I've had a lot of them. Oh, man.
Sick. Well, we've pretty much done 54 minutes.
Should we cut it? We don't got nothing else.
Cut it. I got something else that I thought would be pretty cool to put in, but I don't know. I haven't talked to you boys about it yet. I'll cut this bit out. But I was only thinking about doing like a fan submission thing of like your biggest send or biggest crash, and we get to pick who wins of the month.
Okay.
Like you get a free T-shirt. We call it Send It or End It.
I'm cool with that.
So
I mean, it doesn't even have to be a crash or something cool. It can be anything.
it can be anything. Like if it's like your biggest send and like you like did something gnarly, a big jump, new trick.
Yeah, and put hashtag senders only POD on it.
Exactly.
And that's how we'll go through them.
Start with like a cool hashtag that'll do it, and then we'll go through them, and then at the end of the month we'll pick someone.
Send you some gear or something like that.
We'll send you some merch or our part of the month,
Yeah,
which we're going to start doing the website.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's going to be called Send It or End It. Hashtag senders only. Yeah, I'm excited to see the clips that get put in because we all know someone that's got a.
We'll try and come up with something to give away.
Yeah, 100%.
Whether it's merch and something or whatever, but yeah, we'll try and figure something out.
Yeah, either your biggest send or your biggest crash. Like we want to see it all.
Sick.
And then we'll put it on the podcast and we'll tell you who won or not and have the video up.
Okay,
but I think that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, if anything, we can just do one where we're actually watching all of them and at least saying what we think. So no matter what, it's going to be featured on what we're doing, and we'll talk about you, and then we'll pick our favorite.
That would be sick. Have it on the big screen.
Yeah, before we end it, let's talk about this. This is like, the trophies are cool and shit, but what Joe told me about this, I think it's a cool, like a cool story behind
It's really cool in the trophies because you have to be sponsored by Bridgestone and you have to win in either an F1 race
or an AMA pro sanction
race, anything that is like the highest end of racing.
Or bagger racing.
And you can get one of these hats.
Got the chief embroidered on it, you know?
So yeah, they're sick. Cheers to Rory for a sick weekend. He definitely put a lot of work in there.
Yeah. And then we got we can do another podcast here soon.
Yeah, we'll do one after the next couple things we do.
All right. Sick.
The next one we should probably have the website going, so we'll be able to
That's what we said on the last one.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, but we keep extending it, making it cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Cool things take time.
Exactly. Perfect.
Sick.
Cheers, boys.
Ready to break?